Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to International Spotlight with Suman Agarwal. Hello, hi. People are still joining in. Can you all hear me? Just checking if I'm audible, if I'm visible to everyone. Can you see me? Can you hear me? All right, fantastic. All right, so welcome to yet another interesting episode of International Spotlight, where we pick and choose an interesting, aspiring image consultant and a soft skills trainer from ICBI. And today we have our guest from Dubai, from Russell Khema, and her name is Charu Shonek. A very, very interesting personality, and I hope she's already here. And if she's here, if I would request Charu to send in a request to join in. Charu, if you're already here, if you could just send in a request, and I will accept your request and we can get started immediately. Let me see if Charu is here. I can't see here. Charu's request. Hello, are you there?
Yes, yes, I am. Hi, Suman. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I can hear you. I can see you. You are loud and clear. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What a privilege to talk to you.
Likewise, Charu, how are you? And how is Dubai? How is Russell Khema?
Dubai is extremely hot. Russell Khema, thankfully, because of the openness and little mountains and greenery, is maybe a wee bit better than Dubai.
Fantastic, fantastic. And you look amazing.
Thank you. So do you. You're such an inspiration to so many people. You know what? Instead of you interviewing me, I should be interviewing you.
करो करो आप तो इंटरव्यू स्पेशलिस्ट हो.
So I want to know 14 years
मैं
back.
आपका इंटरव्यू ले रही हूँ, उसके बाद आप मेरा इंटरव्यू लेना, हम इंटरव्यू खेलेंगे और क्या.
खेलेंगे. सही है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. So let's hear it from you, Charu. How has Charu Shonek been, and who is Charu Shonek? Everybody would like to know.
Okay, so Charu Shonek is a very experimental woman. She doesn't stop at anything. And because she comes from the armed forces background, I was in the army, so we've roamed around almost the whole of North India while I was growing up. So Charu Shonek is somebody who's quite a vagabond. मतलब एक जगह टिक के बैठने का दिल नहीं लगता है. Constantly roaming around, and you know, in the last about 12 years, I've changed about 8 homes. And the moment I shift to a new home, I'm like, okay, where next? So
That's the
yeah,
interesting thing about you, Charu.
yeah. So when actually, it's just that I keep feeling like doing different stuff. I keep feeling like learning different stuff, and I think this has come to me, I think, post 40. It's just, I've just grown more experimental, you know. There's a lot of people after 40 say, bas ho gaya, yahi karna hai, jo karna hai. And
Well,
for me,
people
it's like,
usually want
nahi
to
yaar.
stabilize after 40, and some people want to experiment after 40.
Absolutely. So I think I come in the, you know, the second category. And Yes, she is someone who is quite persistent when she wants to get at things. She will not let go easily. कभी कभी इरिटेट हो जाते हैं उसके अपने कि छोड़ दे यार, छोड़ दे, रहने दे, but नहीं 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 नहीं, ऐसे कैसे छोड़ दूँ? Yeah, so जिद्दी है चारू शौनिक.
Good, good. I think in a way it's nice. I mean, if you just keep exploring things, it's always great to be very interesting and be interested in other things also. So life is always very hunky-dory for such people.
Yeah, I guess. And Charu Shonek is also very forgetful. खासतौर से अगर कोई बुरी चीजें होती हैं, you know, people meet me and say, I'm so sorry, you know, उस time ऐसा हुआ था. I'm like, hey, कब, क्या? So people who are close to me say, तुम्हारी ना goldfish की memory है.
That's really, really interesting. And I think to some extent, even I relate with this kind of Charu Shonek because I'm also somewhat similar.
Lovely.
Good, good, good. Absolutely amazing. And you founded this, this Middle East first only app, which was this about Hindi radio station.
Correct.
Radio Gaga. So tell us
Correct.
more about this Radio Gaga. What was this Radio Gaga all about?
So last year, basically, so I've always been from the radio industry, but I took a sabbatical and I was on air in other countries, not UAE. I was on air in Bahrain. I was on air doing shows in Qatar, but those were recorded shows. So basically, I was stationed here in the UAE, but my shows were running there. And last year, I think somebody gave us the idea, why not online app? I wish we could have done it during COVID. Maybe it would have flown even faster. But har ek cheez ka time hota hai. So I guess when this suggestion came, I was pretty excited. I said, okay, there is absolutely no problem, you know, trying it out. And we started very small. I didn't know how an online radio station runs because I was already, you know, always working in frequency radio stations. And that too, not at the technical side. It was more programming and on air. So when this challenge came, everything from how to make an app to how to have, you know, online radio software to how does one go live, you know, how does it operate? It was, मैं बिल्कुल बच्ची बन गई थी. So the first time the online radio started playing music, I'm like, wow, you know, it was like that for me. And it picked up because people started listening to Radio Gaga.live, and we didn't really have any solid marketing because we were not that time, you know, putting in too much money to grow this, but we were just sort of experimenting. How far will this go? And we crossed about 13,000 IP addresses, and that's when we realized, oh, log sun rahe. And sometimes, because the, you know, analytics show in real time, sometimes we saw people tuned in from Nigeria, tuned in from New Zealand. I'm like, inko kisne bataya, you know, that there is a radio station like this, or there is an app like this. So it is a great idea, and I think very soon we'll take it to the next level, you know, have more stuff. But the idea came because I was thinking everybody is going towards online. So even music, people listen to Apple or Spotify, they're listening to podcasts. A lot of consumption of talk is happening through podcasts. Why is the traditional radio still on frequency? Why do you have to wait to sit in a car, tune in, and then listen? Why can't this happen online? Why shouldn't a radio station, exactly the format of a typical frequency station, be online? So there are shows, there are top of the hour jingles, there are ads, there are jocks on air, and there is music, exactly like how a normal radio station operates. So this idea got me excited. We started working on it, and yeah, I think I will be persistent with it. I'm not going to let it go easy.
The Radio Gaga thing is still on.
Yes, it is. Radio Gaga.live or the Radio Gaga app, basically, it's still on. Very much.
Wow, that's amazing. And how does it function? How does it exactly work?
So basically, you just have to download the app or listen online. There is no frequency to it. So we say radio in your pocket. क्यों जरूरी है गाड़ी में बैठकर ही ट्यून इन करना? Radio in your pocket है, तो कहीं से भी कभी भी सुन लो. And take it with you while you're reading, while you're on the beach, while you're playing with kids, while you're doing anything, cooking. Because radio is a very non-invasive medium. मतलब टीवी आप देखते हो तो टीवी के सामने बैठ के आपको पूरा 100% अटेंशन देना पड़ेगा. लेकिन रेडियो एक ऐसा मीडियम है कि वो पीछे बैकग्राउंड में चलता भी रहे तो आप कुछ और भी चीजें कर सकते हो. So very non-invasive way. And I do feel that radio has a lot more personal connect than any other medium.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because when people start to connect with you and start to listen to you, you become like a part of their family. You know, they start to want to hear you and say, "Aaj tumhari life mein kya hua?" Because I remember when I was on, frequency stations, uh, if even a little bit my mood was off or there was something that was going on home that troubled me, my biggest listeners, who used to listen very regularly, they used to call me and say, "Kya ho gaya? There's something wrong." I'm like, "My God." So
Very,
yeah,
very true. Yeah, absolutely. And they
I
would
love the people.
actually make out from your voice modulation or probably your, vocal expressions. That what
Absolutely.
exactly, yeah, absolutely. पकड़ लेते हैं.
हाँ, सही पकड़े.
So you've been a media professional. You've interviewed Amitabh Bachchan, celebrities like Shahrukh Khan, and you've also acted.
Yes.
You've been an actor.
Yes, I've been basically I've done theater, a lot of theater in the UAE, and Barrister was one play that was very acclaimed. There was another one, just Lahore nahi dekhya, wo Jamia hi nahi. That was also very, very acclaimed. And Anu Kapoor was the Sutradhar. He came from Mumbai. So I've acted on stage. I've done a ZTV serial called Parwaaz. But if you try and look me up there,
So was
I
acting
look
a
at myself and I'm
natural
like,
calling, or this just happened by chance?
I think, acting is something that happened by chance because typically for the Parvaz, the radio serial, serial, the TV serial, it so happened that the girl, the lady who was playing the Indian hero's mother, so it's a story about an Indian and a Pakistani friend. They make friends in UAE, because this is typically a, sort of in between country where both people can become friends. So it's a story about that. And the person who was playing the Indian hero's mom had an emergency and she had to go to India. And the shooting was to, happen tomorrow, like tomorrow. So the director happened to be a friend of mine and he said, "Yaar, kar le, please, uski mummy ban ja." I'm like, "Okay, chal bante hain." So yeah, that's how Parvaz happened to me. I loved acting in the serial. Actually, it was quite an interesting experience. And yeah, if it comes to me again, I would gladly take it up.
Amazing. Amazing. So you are a multitasker. You can do multiple things at the same time and, multi-talented at the same time. So you can do radio shows, you can do acting, and you can do multiple things side by side. हो जाता है.
Um, ये अच्छा भी है और एक अच्छा नहीं भी है because कुछ देखने वाले बोलते हैं ले अभी तो ये कर रही थी अब तो ये कर रही है so टिकना नहीं है क्या so but I feel this it's all interconnected. जब हम लोग बात करते हैं कि आपकी हॉबीज क्या है तो लोग एक थोड़ी बोलते हैं लोग बोलते हैं ट्रैवल करना बुक्स पढ़ना नेट सर्फिंग करना they have like 3-4 things that they talk about. So when we talk about work, why can't work also be as varied? Why does it have to be restricted to one field, one office, one company for like 20 years? It doesn't work that way.
I think in a nutshell, what I would say is that once you are in a creative field, that can also have like multifaceted, spread. I would say that, one industry can lead to multiple industries.
Yes.
So creativity
True.
does not have one particular, area. It can just have like I would say it would diversify into multiple things.
Yes, absolutely right, Suman.
So if you are into radio, radio is also like you are speaking in front of, millions of people. So you might as well, act in front of millions of people. So it's one of the same thing.
Yes, in a way, voice acting is radio because when you're doing radio, you're also emoting.
Correct.
So there is acting when you're doing radio as well.
Absolutely. So what really inspired you to get into image consulting and soft skills?
It again happened by chance. So I think जब ऊपर वाले को मुझे कुछ दूसरी चीज में डालना होता है, he kind of sends messages, sends things, and I've noticed that because even in radio, it was like when I heard radio here for the very first time long back, there was a lot of Urdu because it was the first Pakistani-owned station that was here. And I just happened to go and say, I just happened to go to the office and say, I want to be an RJ. मेरा कोई experience नहीं था. मेरा TV और Film and Television Institute से diploma था, but there was no experience, so to say. And they gave me a script in Urdu, and I was like, can we Roman English it? Because I can't read Urdu. They said, okay, no problem. And the management was very sweet, and I went on air the very next day, I think. The very next day in small and bits, and then they gave me a proper show. So radio happened like that. Similarly, a lot of things, TV I told you already, just by chance happened like that. And for ICPI, I happened to see a very nice Insta video. So by chance, this Insta video I saw about Image Consulting Business Institute, and I was really wowed. I was like, wow, I've never looked at this. So how soft skills and how it can take you, where it can take you. And I was like, image consultancy तो मुझे भी करनी चाहिए, because हालांकि मुझे घर रखने का बहुत शौक है, लेकिन what goes well on me, what should I buy, what accessories, how makeup is done, बिल्कुल नहीं आता मुझे. मतलब I'm quite bad at that. So I was like, okay, I need to learn this for myself. But soft skills, I wanted to be able to teach others, because that's something I relate to completely, particularly communication, because that's been my background. So yeah, it just happened to me. I happened to get connected with a very beautiful, powerful Kavita Bhalla. And we happened to chat a lot because there was this army background, and I just saw myself doing this simply because of the people that I connected with here in ICBI, and I said, "Ye mere jaise hai, main inki jaisi hu. I will feel at home here." And sure enough, Kavita told me, "Just wait, just attend a few classes, and you'll thank me for, because she's the one who pushed me, saying image below. Don't just do soft skills, do both." So yes, it happened to me, and I'm very grateful that I opted for both, because मुझे लगता है कि image consultancy or soft skills is like body and soul.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
It's like body and soul. It can't be one without the other. It's kind of incomplete. So yeah, that is how ICPI happened to me, and I got enrolled in Jan, and I started my classes in Jan itself. And from then to now, it's been a very roller coaster ride. A lot of new learnings, lot of things that have changed in terms of perspective. Lot of teachers that have, your coaches, your teachers are so brilliant, all of them. And the kind of people in my class, I think out of, if they're 30, 28 will have their cameras on. So it's really good to have this participative, high energy crowd.
No, in fact, I wanted to ask you that how has your learning experience been so far, and how did you feel when you attended the class for the first time with different kind of people? There are like people from different backgrounds. Somebody's young, somebody's a little older, somebody's from a background who's probably a homemaker, somebody is a freshly a student who's just recently passed out from college, somebody is from probably a very professional background, somebody is a fresher. So what did you feel when you joined the class for the first time?
So I don't think it was like a shocker for me, because coming from the armed forces background, I have made friends with all ages. In Dubai also, when I was here, my youngest friend, when I was in my 30s, my youngest friend was 18. My oldest friend was 68. So,
Wow.
so for me, age and field, and it's never been a barrier, and I never judge. Somehow when I connect to people, I connect to people. So that's not been a barrier. As far as nationalities are concerned, I think Dubai, UAE is exposed to more than 200 nationalities. So we're so fortunate that way, that the exposure is far more. So I think the first thing that I got, the positive thing that I got from this first class was, they are like me. Wow, I'm in the right place. I felt at home. I felt good at my decision. That was the feeling I got, and nothing else.
And what is in store for you post course completion?
Post completion, I would like to. So I've always been somebody who wants to, at this stage, like I said, learn a lot. And I'm so glad that ICBI gives this image consultancy a soft skills course in such a way that it stays with you. आपका खजाना है ये. अब मुझे जरूरी नहीं है कि मैं दुबई रहूं या इंडिया रहूं. अब मैं कहीं भी जाऊं. And that's so it's so relatable to me. I completely relate to that. That I take my skills with me wherever I go. So what is post ICBI course is, after I get the certification, I would really want to pursue soft skills in a very, very major way. I want to become a corporate trainer. I want to be able to particularly focus on communication, because that's been my background. I love to do it. And I also feel now with ICBI, I've got a very structured approach. Very, I know exactly how to teach, how to go about it, and how people can benefit from it, because I'm benefiting immensely, coming from the radio and TV background, still learning a lot of new things. So communication coaching is one thing I really want to focus on, because I feel there are so many talented, so many skilled people, so many people who got some great, you know, knowledge and education behind them. But पता नहीं podium पे जाके, mic के सामने जाके या stage पे जाके क्यों बोलती बंद हो जाती है. I want to be able to talk to those people and say, chalo, get on stage and face 500 people. I want to be able to do that. Someday I want to be able to, like you, become a TEDx speaker and speak on communication.
You are a champion. You will definitely do it.
I love you. So yeah, that is what I want to do. But then there's no stopping me. Abhi bhi ideas kuch na kuch aate rehte. Ye karna hai, wo karna hai, ye karna hai. But I feel with ICBI, this certification will equip me to do a whole lot of things. I have to find my niche market, but right now I just feel communication as a subject is something I want to really be able to focus on and teach people.
Communication also has lot of areas like vocal, verbal, visual. There are so many parameters that you can, get into. Like
Absolutely.
visual communication. Visual communication itself is a science,
Absolutely.
I mean, the visual part is so in depth. Vocal is so much in depth. Verbal is so much in depth. So एक चीज को आप देखने जाओगे तो बहुत कुछ है करने के लिए. So I mean, there is a lot that you still need to get into, and I mean, of course, communication is definitely your baby, your chapter, but there is so much that you can get into, and अभी picture बाकी है तो बहुत कुछ आगे you have to see, you have to learn, you have to get into, and of course there is so much that, I mean, you've just started and you still have to move ahead, and you have to see that what all is there that you can get into, because there is there are so many interesting aspects that you still have to touch and see that whether these are also the things that you would like to explore and get into, and see that I mean, what are the bigger pictures that you still want to experiment with.
Absolutely. But I still feel that communication, like you said, आगे जैसे जैसे मैं और पढ़ूंगी और सीखूंगी, it will give me more clarity as to what really I want to do and where I want to really fine tune it. However, this I know that the feeling of helping someone speak well, or to be able to go on stage and confidently say something, I would really love to see the transformation in people. So I think that's exciting for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So out of all the things that you've learned so far, थोड़ा थोड़ा जितना भी अभी तक किया है, what are the top 3 learnings till now with ICBI?
Ooh, okay, that's a tough one. Okay, seeing the range of people, the age groups that come, I think one of the top learnings, not from the course, but from the classes, is that the world is your oyster. Go get it. There is absolutely no stopping you, and if you're consistently learning, you could do anything out there. So one of the learnings is that. Secondly, in communication, like you said, there is so many types of communication. It gave me a lot of clarity. This is the second learning, where through a course and through classes, I got to know, okay, verbal, non-verbal, body language, how big an impact it has on communication. And I thought it was all about talking. So imagine, after being so much in communication and related fields, I still learned this very, very important lesson, that body language is far more important than the words that you speak. So that's been a very, very important learning for me. My image classes have not yet started, but in all the classes of soft skills that I've been going through, interview ready is another skill, another class that I really, really enjoyed myself. And I also enjoyed, now I'm going to be attending leadership. I'm looking very forward to the Monday and Tuesday classes, because it's all about leadership. And I think this is so important in every phase of life. Whatever you do, if you develop those leadership skills, nothing and no one can stop you from getting ahead in your field.
Absolutely, absolutely. Acha, abhi aapka image start nahi hua hai. So once the image session starts, then of course that will be another big picture that you will be exposed to. And
absolutely,
different ball game that you will be really, really excited about, because that's another area where you will feel that that's very, very exciting, very, very exciting. So अच्छा, बहुत मजा आएगा वो भी करने में.
Amazing. And I look forward to seeing you, because I've opted for TTT in September in Delhi, and I would love to meet up with you.
Sure, if you're there in Delhi, maybe I'll also come over and then let's meet up. Dubai bhi aungi,
Absolutely.
don't worry. If
Ah,
yeah, so maybe sometime when I'm there in Dubai, we'll catch up.
absolutely, would love to.
Sure. And do you ever come to India otherwise, or you don't come to India at all?
My parents are in Patiala, Suman. So yes, I do. I just went in March, so I just go to meet them and then come back.
Is there
There
any
is
Patiala
otherwise no.
connection with Kavita? Because Kavita was in Patiala for a
Yes,
very long time.
yes. So when the first time we spoke, first of all, this army background thing came about, and then I said that my family is in Patiala, and she's like, "What are you saying?" So there was so much commonality, you know, that I connected more with the people than what the course is, because that time I didn't know what it has in store for me, but I just knew I was in the right place because of the people.
Hmm. True, true, true. Absolutely. Chalo, whenever you are here in Delhi or in India, let's try to meet up. For sure.
Absolutely, absolutely, will do so, man.
Great. So, Charu, how do you stay relevant in today's times? That's something which is very, very important. And I'm sure you will also agree with this, that staying relevant is something which is very, very important. So, what do you do to keep yourself up to date?
One is, I think, I've realized that, and I used to shy away from books, but I've realized that books are so important, because constantly building your mindset to, to keep up to date is so important. Constantly reading is going to really, really help. So I've got into this reading where I put an alarm, और मैं वो आधे घंटे पढ़ती हूँ, चाहे 10 पेज पढूं, चाहे 20 पेज पढूं, but I read. And I feel so many of us don't do that. That helps me a lot, a lot. And so this time around, instead of 1 hour or half an hour, I've made myself a week's, I give myself a week's time. Agar 250 page ki book hai, then I'll divide it into 7 days and I'll say, these many pages I have to read. And they really help me. That is one. Secondly, I think social media. One has to get into it, whether you like it or not. You can't get away with saying, mere ko nahi karna. So whether it is Insta or now the threads, and you constantly have to jump on the bandwagon and see what's new, what's changing, and am I part of it, and am I upgrading myself in knowing about this. I think that's another thing that has helped me stay relevant. And the third thing is constantly educating yourself, because the best investment is in yourself. अगर हम खुद पे invest नहीं करेंगे तो you will not stay relevant. You will just be outdated. And there was a time जब लोग नौकरियां change करते थे 10 साल 15 साल बाद, तभी कुछ नया course करते थे या कुछ और करते थे, or they used to upgrade themselves. So that upgradation used to probably happen once or twice in your lifetime. But times have changed. I think every day you need to constantly upgrade yourself.
Very true, very true. Absolutely. ये टाइम वो नहीं है जब आपको नौकरी चेंज करनी है तभी आपको अपने आप को अपग्रेड करना है. This is like constant upgradation. Otherwise, you will not be relevant and people will not be able to strike a conversation with you. So this is something which is like absolutely important and need of the hour.
Absolutely. And I feel that, embracing technology and constantly learning, even if it is, from your children, it's damn important. Let them make fun of you. Let them say, "Aapko kya ye bhi nahi aata?" "Haan, nahi aata, sikha de." So constantly doing that, because the moment people said, "Okay, this or this," I started learning about it myself. I started Google searching, and now with Chat GPT, obviously, a lot of people have used it. A lot of people haven't used it, but I'm very proud that I'm nicely using it and I'm getting a lot out of it. So I feel technology-wise also we need to be constantly updated, because otherwise, the world will be talking something else and you're like, "Hey, kya? What happened? What hit me?"
Very true, very true. Absolutely. So what advice would you give to those people who are aspiring to become image consultants and soft skills trainers?
The only piece of advice I think I would give is, instead of thinking that मैं ये सीख के career बनाऊंगी या सिखाऊंगी, I think first मैं सीखूंगी and I'll become a better person is the advice that I would give. Because whether it is image consultancy or whether it is learning so many soft skill topics like communication or leadership or negotiation skills, or all these are so important for me to grow as a person. So instead of thinking कि ये एक career option है जहाँ पे हम ये सीख के ना दूसरों को सिखाएंगे and that's how I'll make money, I think first and foremost, and the only advice I want to give is, this is so relevant and important to me. Let me grow, let me learn, let me become that person. who can then eventually help you. That's the second stage. So I think it's important, so important for all of us, whatever field we are in. This is extremely important to get ahead in life and to feel that confidence wherever you are.
Absolutely. And that is why we always say that self-application is the key. That's the most important thing, because unless and until you apply things on yourself, you will not be able to do anything in life. So whatever you learn first is self-application. अगर खुद ही कन्विंस नहीं होगे जो आपने सीखा है, जो आपने प्रैक्टिस करी है, तो वो दूसरों के ऊपर अप्लाई भी कैसे करोगे?
बिल्कुल.
So self-application is the key. If you are not convinced with what you've done, you will not be able to convince anybody else. So you are
Absolutely.
a role model it first, and then you are the marketing tool for your own product. So if you don't market it yourself, you will not be able to market it to anybody else, and you will not be able to convince anybody else that this works. It works for you, that is why it worked for somebody else. So that's the key factor. That is what is the most important thing that you need to keep in mind.
Absolutely. So I completely agree with that, and this is the only thing I would like to say, because many people want to take this course कि हम सीख ले जल्दी से और दूसरे पे सिखा दे, like इधर से डाउनलोड हुआ उधर अपलोड कर दे
और उधर दे दिया और अपने ऊपर कुछ नहीं इस्तेमाल किया. So it does not work like that.
Yeah.
It does not work at all like that. So one last question to you, Charu, that are you happy with your professional decisions, and do they complement your personal life?
I'm very happy with my professional decisions. There have been some that didn't really do well for me, but I'm still happy because I learned and I took away something from that. So I don't feel I will ever regret any decision professionally that I've made in life so far. But there are things that didn't work out for me. So it didn't work out for me, but I came out knowing how they will work better, or knowing that maybe this is not my field. Maybe I should focus somewhere else where I'll shine more. So every professional decision has been a learning for me. Whether it was, I've done interiors, I've worked in a travel agency, I've done network marketing, I've done radio, I've done TV. I mean, there is so many things, but I feel that none of them I ever regret making that decision, because each industry taught me something, and it was a learning curve.
फिर भी मैं ये बोलूंगी कि जो दिल बोलता है ना वही करो.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always say that follow your heart and do what your gut feel says. Just go ahead and just do it. कभी भी ये मत सोचना कि ये रिस्की है और ये ऐसा है और ये वैसा है, so I should always think 10 times and then do it or not do it. Just follow your heart, do what your heart says, and just blindly follow your gut feel. I
completely go with that. अंधाधुन push मैं तो पूछ जाती हूँ. And like this, they jump and grow wings as you're going down.
Absolutely, absolutely. I also follow the same thing, and I always do what my gut feel tells me to do. So I that is why I say that I relate to a lot of things what you have said, and that is why there is a definite reason to meet you.
It is lovely meeting you. You are the one, who is so inspiring, and I've been reading up so much about you. 14 years, and you came up as the founder and the queen of image consultancy in India when people didn't even know something like this exists. People still don't know much, but it is really amazing. तो वो interview बनता है जो मैं आपका लूँगी.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, absolutely. बारी बारी से करेंगे. Chalo, let's now take questions, because there is one lady, Charming. Who's this? Desert Rose. Charming Desert Rose is asking many questions and we are not answering. How rude are you, Charming? Sorry, अब आपकी बारी है. अब आप बोलो क्या बोलना चाहते हो. हम आपके questions का जवाब देंगे, Charming. Come on. You guys are not answering my question. Okay, we were busy chatting, so we were not able to answer your question. Now tell me your question. How to?
I think the question that she has. After a career gap. Yeah, that's the question. Okay.
You want to take, Charu, or you want me to take?
I want you to address this, please.
Okay, so Charming, first of all, you need to understand that what are the areas that you are very good at. Identify that first. And if you are wanting to start something after a career gap, first of all, you need to first understand and identify that what are the areas of your expertise, what you want to start with. Are you somebody who wants to start something of your own, or you want to restart with a job, identify, ask these questions to yourself. Is it a job, or you want to start something of your own? And if these questions are sorted, then you have to first see that how much time do you have in hand. If you have enough time in hand, then you have to start asking questions that do you have a child to look after? Do you have your home front that is sorted, or you have some of the things that need to be taken care at home? These questions have to be answered first. पहले आप इन सब चीजों के जवाब दो, उसके बाद आपको ये चीज बतानी पड़ेगी कि आप रीस्टार्ट करने के लिए तैयार हो कि नहीं. You are a housewife and you want to start working. Any tips, as I have 5-year career gap? So now you have to tell us that if you have these things sorted. I'm good in communication, especially to strangers. Is there any age criteria to do MBA, as I am married and have a kid? Okay. There is no age criteria to do MBA if you have done graduation. So if you are a graduate, there is no age criteria. So you have to just fill a form and check the criteria that is there for MBA, and then please pursue MBA. There is no age criteria. You can do MBA even now. Meghna is saying, what do you read, Charu? What do you read, Charu? Okay.
So Meghna, currently I'm reading The Magic of Thinking Big, and I've just finished it. I've started reading Happy Money by Ken Honda. And then there are books that I'm reading that have been suggested by the coaches and teachers in the ICPI classes also, including Cybernetics, which is such an interesting book. It's a whole new world out there. So yes, I am reading all these.
I know who has suggested that.
You know your teachers well. Thank you, Meghna. She loves the small reels I put up on soft skills. Thank you very much. Actually, it's only the tip of the iceberg. There is so much that we've got from these classes from ICPI. What you see as soft skills reels is only just a wee bit.
अच्छा, आपने already शुरू कर दिया, चारू?
हाँ जी.
Oh, fantastic.
I think there's a question for you, Suman. Please suggest if someone who is not great in English speaking or communication, how can ICPI help?
Where is this question?
ये अभी आया है इनमें. Shipra has asked this question.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, can you please suggest if someone is not that great in English speaking or communication, how can ICPI help? So, Shipra, if you're not good in English speaking, as long as you're good in communication. So, communication does not mean English only. अगर आप हिंदी में भी अच्छे हो या आप अपने रीजनल लैंग्वेज में भी अच्छे हो, तो भी उसको ठीक कम्युनिकेशन बोला जाता है. कम्युनिकेशन का मतलब ये नहीं होता है कि इंग्लिश ही आपकी अच्छी होनी चाहिए. कम्युनिकेशन कैन बी कम्युनिकेशन इन योर रीजनल लैंग्वेज या कम्युनिकेशन इन योर एनी लैंग्वेज. हिंदी लैंग्वेज ऑल्सो इज कंसिडर्ड एज कम्युनिकेशन, गुड कम्युनिकेशन. तो इंग्लिश को ही एक बहुत अच्छी कम्युनिकेशन नहीं मानी जाती है. कम्युनिकेशन कोई भी कम्युनिकेशन हो सकती है. सो इफ यू आर हिंदी or English or regional language, as long as you can speak well, speak in decent language, could be any language, it's absolutely fine.
और इसका इतना बड़ा एग्जाम्पल सुमन कपिल शर्मा है. मतलब हिंदी इतनी अच्छी है, वो तो मजाक उड़ाता है खुद की इंग्लिश के बारे में, बट लुक एट हाउ ग्रेट अ कॉमेडियन ही इज एंड हाउ पॉपुलर ही इज. एब्सोल्युटली
ही इज गुड विद पंजाबी, ही इज गुड विद हिंदी.
यस,
बट उसकी इंग्लिश में टांग टूटी हुई है. और वो खुद ही बोलता है कि मेरी इंग्लिश में टांग टूटी हुई है. खुद पे हंसोगे तो कोई भी नहीं हंसेगा. बट एट द सेम टाइम we will not be able to give you English classes. We can only give you classes on communication skills. We cannot improve your grammar. So just keep that in mind, that in ICBI we don't give you English classes.
Right.
So we will not be able to improve your English. We can only give you communication skill classes. That is different from English speaking classes. Right, Chipra? So there is a difference. No. English is not a must. हमारे पास बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनकी इंग्लिश अच्छी नहीं है बट उनकी हिंदी या उनकी रीजनल लैंग्वेज बहुत अच्छी है. दैट देन आल्सो दे आर वेरी गुड एंड वेरी सक्सेसफुल इमेज कंसल्टेंट्स. तो इसकी चिंता आप मत करो. All right. Are we missing out on any question?
Where is ICBI? In Bangalore? There is another question. Can you please answer that?
Okay. One second. Charming. ICBI is in Bangalore, in Hyderabad. We have in quite a few places in the south. So just send us a DM. I will share the contact numbers of all the engagement heads in the south, and you can get in touch. You please first share your location, and then based on that, I will give you the details. So send us a direct message, and based on that, I will give you the details of the location which is closest to you, and then you can get in touch with the relevant engagement head. Touch the soul. Hi, ma'am. Hi, touch the soul. Why do you keep such names, guys? Why don't you have a straight name for your Instagram profile? सीधा सीधा नाम रखो ना. All right. So I believe there are no more questions, and we can close this live session. Thank you so much, Charu. It was lovely interacting with you. This was so candid and such a free-flowing session with you. And,
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you as well. Very, very, very privileged to be sharing the same screen as you, and we'll meet you soon.
Absolutely. And we'll do some more Vartalap with you. And thank you so much, all the lovely people, and for your questions. And we'll meet again once more next week. Until then, this is Charu Shonek and Suman Agarwal signing off for today. Thank you so much once again, Charu. Thank you for accepting this invite and being my guest. And we'll meet again for sure very soon. So thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you once again.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.